I'm not going to drag this intro out any longer than it needs to be. We've finished both of the one-and-done saves that I've mentioned, both with Paris Saint-Germain and Greuther Fürth. Much fun was had in both of them. I had a lovely time. Hopefully you guys did as well. A massive thank you to anyone who's watched them. But we're getting back into the nitty-gritty of the Let's Go series. Something a bit more long-term. And you guys already know what the club is. So without any further ado, welcome to Let's Go Parma. Hello there and welcome to Season 1, Episode 0 of Let's Go Parma. My name is Stubo. Thank you so much for joining me in the first episode of this brand new save. And I can't speak, I'm so excited. If you're as excited as I am to get underway with it, please do leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel as well for more Football Manager awesomeness. I'm really excited to get underway with Parma. At one point they were a massive club in both Italian football and European football, never quite reaching the zenith of the game in either of those, but they were always in and around there, always finishing well, always in a chance to win some trophies, as we'll see on the next screen. But we have signed our contract. It's for £8,750 a week. I would very much like that in real life. If Sports Interactive can sort that out for me, that would be great. But we are in, and we have got a job on our hands. The aim is, well, to take this club as far as we can go. I'm not putting a cap on seasons on this save. We're just going to go forward until it feels like the right time to end the save. The minimum aim is that we want to win a Serie A. I would love to take them to a Champions League win as well. But ultimately, we'll carry on until we basically aren't having that much fun anymore. That's the theory. But I'm not going to go quite as hard on the targets as I did in the West Ham save. Serie A is a minimum requirement. I'd quite like to win the Champions League as well, but we'll see what we can do. But we will move forward and we will have a look at what the history of the club is. So, 1913, the club was founded, and it has won a number of trophies, including a couple of Europa Leagues. They've won some Italian Cups, Italian Super Cup, European Super Cup, the old European Cup Winners' Cup as well, and a bunch of lower leagues in Italian football as well. So again, no Serie A, no Champions League in terms of their winning, but they've got a good history. They've got a very good history. They were in Serie A last season as well, so they have just been relegated. They want to get straight back up, and we want to be managing to do that. Obviously, if we don't, it's going to be a little bit of a failure. We are a 3-star reputation team. We are expected by the media to finish first. So let's carry on forward and let's see what we've got to work with, shall we? So we're recommended to play a 5-3-2. Spoiler, I'm probably not going to play that. One player sticks out there, though. Juan Luigi Buffon, the man, the myth, the legend between the sticks. We'll see how long he lasts at a high level and see how long he continues playing for, because obviously having someone of his experience is massive for us. This is the current club vision. They want us to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. See how well we can do that with the budget that we've got. They want us to work within the wage budget. We'll see how well we can do with the budget that we've got. They want us to get promoted, not necessarily win the second division of Italian football, but they want us to win promotion, so that's something at least. Get to the second round of the Italian club. I'm not sure when we enter the Italian club. I imagine we'll probably enter in the first round, and then we actually run out of contract at the end of next season, where they want us to just attempt to remain in Serie A. And that's the future. They just want us to continue staying in the top flight. We want to progress a little bit quicker than that, but we'll see what happens. We don't need any of the inductions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm very excited to get going. And get going we have. We are here in the very familiar inbox screen on Football Manager. I remember someone saying that the game this year wasn't going to be as centered around the inbox, but I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like it's exactly as you would expect it to be. In terms of the rules on the save, things I'm going to try and stick to this time around that I perhaps was a little bit lax on in the Let's Go Hammer save that I did. In terms of transfers, in terms of staff, I am not going to use staff search or player search. I am going to be any kind of transfer, any kind of staff signing, they're going to come through either scout reports or job advertisements, with the exception of going on the player search screen and looking at players who are on the transfer and loan list, because I feel like in real life there must be some kind of way to access who is transfer listed, who is loan listed. There must be some kind of official way to do that. So they're the only times I will be looking at the transfer or loan list for players. Other than that, anyone who comes into the club has to either apply for the job or be recommended in some way, shape or form. I just wanted to get that out there straight away. But we are going to be trying to obviously get the best coaching set up, get the best playing squad as possible. And if we can develop some youth along the way, we're going to be doing that as well. But I just wanted to get that out there quickly because I don't know if I really specified that I wanted to do that in the Let's Go Hammer save. But I've made that kind of decision. I want to kind of not make this very challenging, but make it a little bit more challenging. I'm going to continue doing my own training as well. And if people want to see how I do training, I will show that off a little bit. But for now, that's not important. What is important is we need to, well, we need to get going with this save, really. We need to see what we're going to do. So let's have a look at this vision. Is there anything else we can do? Not really. We could add objectives, but I don't think we're going to do that. So I think we just accept that and say yes to that. And then we're going to introduce ourselves. Well, first of all, we'll do this. Promotion and promotion while winning the league. I think we'll keep these as to what they are. We don't need to burden ourselves with any more expectations. I'll do tactics off camera. But let's introduce ourselves to the squad first. Let's have a look at what we are going to be working with. And what we're going to be working with should, in theory, be a good squad of players. Again, this is a team that was relegated last year, which means it should be one of the better teams in the second division of Italian football. I'm saying the second division of Italian football, by the way, because my instinct is to say Serie B. I'm imagining it's not that in Italian. I'm going to research that before episode 1.
Serie B.
Serie B. I'm calling this episode 0, by the way, because this is just an introductory episode. There is going to be no gameplay in this episode. It's just getting to know the team, having a look at what tactics we're going to play, and all that kind of lovely stuff. So, looking at the squad, we look like we've got a decent base. We've got a group of players here, a group of 16 players who look really, really good. I am noticing, however, quite a few of these guys are on loan. So actually, let's go to the filter. Let's take out not at club. Because it looked like we had quite a big match squad. And we actually do still look like we've got a very big match squad. So let's have a quick look at how many players we've got here. Because this looks quite extensive. 32 players! Okay, we've got some dead wood to clear out then. That's insane. Out of those 32 players, I would say we've got 8 players who are above average. 8 players who are 3.5 star or upwards who look very, very good. We've then got a lot of players as well who are 3 star current ability at 13. So that's a good group of players to base the team around. And then we've got a bunch of players who are 2.5 star or less who actually have got some good potential as well. So top of the list, we've got Franco Vasquez, formerly, I don't know where he's formerly of actually. This has changed a little bit. Let me just quickly do that. Formerly of Sevilla, I thought he was. Yes, so Franco Vasquez, formerly of Sevilla. He looks very, very good. He just doesn't look very quick. So I think he'd be a good player for this season, but maybe next year, not so much. But he does look very good. As before mentioned, Gianluigi Buffon, born leader, veteran, legendary goalkeeper. He will definitely be in the team, at least to begin with, and then we'll see how long he continues playing. I've got a feeling maybe we'll get 1 or 2 seasons out of him. We've then got Dennis Mann in midfield, right winger, 22 years old. I don't know much about Dennis Mann, but he looks good. Romanian, 9 caps for Romania, 1 goal. He looks pretty decent, to be honest with you. He could be an important part for us. He's got 4.5 star potential. We've got Gennaro Totino, who's actually joining us permanently from Napoli. He's currently on a loan. He's in the squad as well. And Roberto, if you had a vibration there, ignore that. That was my phone. Roberto Inglese, looking decent, if not spectacular, but he could do a job for us as well. There's a bunch of good players in here. We'll learn who's good and who's not good when we start playing some actual football. But looking at this squad, I'm comfortably confident that we've got enough players to get promotion already without having to make too many changes. It's just getting them into a tactic and also looking at the dead wood. But we do have to bear in mind there are a bunch of loan players who are in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 loan players, of which I would say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 who are first teamers. So we do need to bear that in mind when we're clearing players out. We don't want to leave ourselves too short for next season because we don't know if we get promoted, which I hope we do, how much of a transfer budget we will have. So I mentioned tactics before. Let's have a look at what I can come up with. Okay, tactically, I'm a little bit unsure what to do, but I've got 3 tactics set up. The first of which is a 4-3-3 gegenpress with some modified instructions down the side here. It's fairly standard, it's fairly simple, it's quite intense, but we want to be getting at teams. I think we are the top dogs of this division. I've got the players slightly the wrong way around. Bear me 1 second. We are the top dogs of this division. We want to be showing teams that we want to be dominating as much as we can, and I feel like a gegenpress is the way to go. We just need to make sure we've got the squad to cope with it. That's something I definitely do need to address, but I think this is definitely one option. Another option which I think we could be using as a starting tactic is also a 4-2-3-1 variation, where we just move Soam and Vasquez around. We move these guys around possibly as well. No, you're the wrong way around. You should be on defence. Why are you not on defence? Get on defence. Behave yourself. Yeah, that way around as well. I'm unsure as to which of these two I'm going to be starting with. I like both of them. Both of them look good. Both of them suit the players that we've got. If anything, this one This one suits the players that we currently have more, I would argue. But I feel a little bit more comfortable starting out with a system that has a holding midfielder. So I'm going to make a decision on that. I have also put in a 4-1-3-2, which if you watched the Greuther Fürth one and gun save, that's the wrong word, one and done save, and if you haven't watched the one and done save with Greuther Fürth, I recommend you go and watch it. They're just at the very end of the season, we switched to this tactic when things were starting to fall apart, and this kind of didn't save the season, but it ended up helping us finish where we ended up finishing. So it ended up working very well for us indeed. So we have got those three options. I think we're going to start with the 4-3-3 with the holding midfielder. I think that makes the most sense. In terms of strengthening the squad, I don't really know where the best place to begin is. Well, no, I do actually. That's a complete lie. I know exactly where I do want to start, and it's central defence. I think Osorio and Valenti could do a very good job for us to begin with, but then we've only really got Danilo. Cabot can play there. You know, he's decent enough. He's 6'2". He's got good jumping reach. His tackling's okay. His marking's okay. But he is technically a wing back, or a fullback, I should say. So I don't really know whether that's a good option. Having said that, he's got a cap for Belgium, so he might be decent. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether we go with him as our backup central defender. But also, he is on loan, so he will not be staying beyond this season. So if we can get someone in permanently, that'd be great. Depth in central midfield is a must for us. Realistically, if I show you on the squad page, the only good backup central midfielder we got is Juric, who's more of a defensive midfielder. The other two are 2-star or less, and they're the only central midfield options we've got. Beyond the guys who are starting in the first team. Ones who are fit anyway. We have got Casata down here, but he's injured for 3 to 4 months, I think. Yep, 3 to 4 months. So unless we want to try and train some of the guys who can play as an attacking midfielder in the middle, I think we need to bring someone in. Striker, I don't know. We have got options. Tutino's an option, Simi's an option, Pandev's an option. I mean, Pandev's got the athleticism of a tree, so I don't necessarily know whether he's going to be the guy. I see him playing probably more as just behind the main striker. Or even as a deep lying forward with a shadow striker playing behind him. That could be an option as well. But yeah, I'm not too sure about him. We've got Simi as well, who isn't the quickest either, but still looks like a half-decent striker. He's got 4 caps for Nigeria, so he's got to have some quality about him. But I think starting it will be Inglese. He's had no Italian caps whatsoever, either for the main team or the youth team. But could do a job for us. He's got 13 goals and 56 appearances. I'm not going to lie, that doesn't actually fill me with that much confidence, if I'm being honest with you. But he could be a good hold-up striker for someone playing behind him as well. So we have got options. I'm going to have a look at the transfer market. I've already set up my scouts. Hopefully they can find someone for us. We're obviously going to be sending scouts out as well to look for the next up-and-coming players. I'll quickly show you what I've done in the, not in the transfer centre, that's the wrong one, in the scouting area. So, again, I said I'm not going to go onto the player search screen. I'm just going to quickly show you this, though. I have set our recruiting package up to world. I've moved some transfer budget over to the scouting budget. It hasn't updated on the total, which is a little bit frustrating, but I have upgraded to this, so hopefully that means we can look around and get some exciting youth players in over the course of the next couple of seasons, get some players in who can really aid the team. Right, let's get rid of that disgusting, cheating little screen that we've got there. But yeah, I'm excited. I am very excited to see how we can do. I feel like there is a bit of pressure on this save to begin with because we are predicted to go up first from this league into Serie A. I don't know if that is going to happen, but we are going to give it a go. Oh, also, I wanted to quickly show you the youth team. Under 20s and under 18s, as you can see, we've got some very, very good, talented players immediately here. If we have a look at the overview for the under 20s, we go by current ability. Straight away, there's a few players who catch my eye. First one, who might actually solve our centre-back problem is Baton's Baloch, who's a 19-year-old centre-back. He actually started at MTK. I don't know where MTK are from. Where are you from? From Budapest. Okay, there we go. That answers that question. 2.5 star, 4-star potential. Could be better than Kabot. We might just bring him up. And then Dan Diasic, I'm going to say. Diasic. We'll go with Diasic. 2-star current ability, but 4.5-star potential. The man looks like an absolute superstar in the making. And then if we sort it by potential, this guy, Drissa Kamara, 19-year-old midfielder, Ivorian. He already looks good. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. We want to be getting this guy game time. He's on the loan list. I will happily loan this guy out. You won't even have to pay for him if you want to loan him as well. We have got some very, very good talent in this under-20s team. And in the under-18s, I've not looked at this yet. Let's have a look. We've got straight away, there's one right there. Giacomo Marconi, 15 years old, a promising striker. Very promising indeed. He could be pretty special if we can get into that potential. And even behind him, there's 2 others. We've got a couple of wonderful youngsters here. A 15-year-old centre-back, Bence Komlossi. I'm probably saying that wrong. Apologies, Bence, if I am. But he looks really good, 4.5-star potential. And Emmanuel Tanner, a 16-year-old, another striker. A Swedish striker at that from Gothenburg. He could be pretty special as well, if we're being completely honest with you. And even then, we've got a couple of 4-star lads here. We've got some really good players for the future. Before we do anything else, just want to show you how to put some players on the transfer list. The best way to show you, I think, is going to be going onto this screen. So, as you can see, William Koulibaly is actually on the loan list. I'm tempted to put him on the transfer list, actually, because he's only got 3.5-star potential. But 2 clubs have come in for him, and they are willing to pay 50% of his wages, 60% of his wages there as well. So, he could be a player who's on the move, at least for the season. Vincent Lamine put on the transfer list. He's likely to be our 3rd-choice central defender at 32 years old. And we've had a couple of transfer offers in for him, which I need to investigate. Michel Laras-Pata, offers in for him. I don't think I put him on the transfer list. I think he was already there. And as you can see, he's had a lot of offers in. Some of them for nothing, some of them for little amounts of money. Safe to say he won't be here for very long. He's not the best player in the world. I don't think he's got a lot of potential either, so we will happily move him on. And Matthias Bocati, this guy was already on the transfer list, so I didn't do this, but I would have put him on there anyway. He's decent, but he wouldn't be doing anything for us in Serie A while we're in Serie B, which is, I think, is the way you say it. I did Google it. I came up with Serie B or Serie B. My pronunciation is going to be awful in this series. I will get better, I promise. But we've had 1 offer in for him as well. So we can potentially, apparently, get up to 5 million. Although, I think that is taking into account this player here who has already left. So I'm not paying too much attention to that, if I'm being completely honest with you. But we are making some moves in the transfer market for players out. I haven't got any players in mind for players in yet. I'm waiting for some scout reports to come in. But a lot of these players are all what I would consider to be dead wood. As you can see, every single one of them are players who are not in that 23-man kind of group here that I've already identified as the core of this squad. They are all bonuses. As you can see as well, we have moved up Bala into the first team. I want to get him some first team football. I want to get him to grow. At 19 years old, he needs game time, and we might as well, if we've got him, let's use him. Let's see if we can get him some football and get him to grow. That is the plan. But I think that's a good place to stop for this episode. What we're going to do is I'm going to do some transfer business, and I'm going to accelerate to the first league game of the season, the first Serie B game of the season. God, I hope I'm saying that right. And we'll see just how we get on in that first game and see whether we can, in fact, get promoted at the first time of asking. Thank you so much for watching this introductory episode to Let's Go Parma. If you have enjoyed, do please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel for more Football Manager goodness. I've been Stubo, you guys have been awesome, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.